The biggest mistake swimmers make is swimming back and forth mindlessly without a workout plan. It's not the best use of your time, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to spend every single lap in the pool so you get the most out of it. Now we're going to talk Workout 101. What that really means is how you spend your time moving through the water, lap by lap. Instead of swimming 84 laps in a row, you could do a workout like this. Now, if you don't understand all the different things written on the board, we're gonna break them down one by one. But it's really important to understand why we would do this type of training instead of just swimming continuously. Now, the major reason for doing that is we can train different parts of our body, different parts of our swimming, different strokes, different distances, intervals, speeds, and as a result, that's gonna make us a more accomplished swimmer, and we're gonna get more out of it more quickly.
Especially if you're training for a triathlon or a competition, you're doing 84 laps continuously will only allow you to swim at a certain pace. Breaking things down and doing less volume and doing your set in, for example, 50s or 100s will allow you to swim quicker for those distances. So for example, if you are doing 4 100s, the quickest you can possibly swim for a 400-meter continuous swim would be, let's say, 8 minutes. But if you break things down into 4 100s, now you can swim at a 1:45 pace, and this will result in you practicing higher speeds, which will then allow you to swim quicker in races. So breaking things down within your session can help you and will help you achieve faster times when you are training.
And it keeps it more interesting. It engages your mind, and it's a lot more interesting to do a workout like this as opposed to just swimming continuously. So let's break it down. Let's say we don't even know what 1 times 200 free even means. Coach Leo, let's break it down. Let's start with this one right here. What are we doing here?
Freestyle. So front crawl, freestyle, depending where you are from, we are doing front crawl, freestyle.
Yeah. And so we know what stroke we're doing. Now, how far are we going to swim freestyle?
200 meters.
And how many times are we going to do that?
We're doing it times 1.
1 time. So we did that in reverse order because the most important thing that you actually need to know is what are you actually going to swim? Then you need to know how far are you going to swim it, and then how many times are you actually going to do it. So when we do a structured workout, this would be the number of repetitions that we're doing. This is the distance that we're doing, and this is the stroke that we're doing. So let's say this was on the 3-minute interval. What that basically means is the amount of swimming time plus resting time is going to take 3 minutes. Now, because we're only doing 1 repetition, the interval doesn't really matter as much. But let's say on this next set, we're going 6 times 50 kick. So we're gonna go 50 meters kick 6 times. There's no interval. Here, it would be helpful to have an interval. If we're doing a rest-based interval, we would just say, okay, you do the 50, and then you take 15 seconds rest before starting the next one. Typically, in more competitive swimming and more training, we're gonna follow an interval, so we're actually gonna write a number. So let's say it's 1 minute. So let's say the 50 kick takes you 50 seconds. Coach Leo, how much rest are we gonna have?
So if you're completing the 50s in 50 seconds, you're going off a minute. This means you're gonna have 10 seconds rest before you start your next one.
Exactly. And so this set in total will take 6 minutes. It's not gonna take 6 times 50 seconds. It's gonna take the interval times the number of repetitions. Let's do this one more time. Let's say we're doing these 450s at the 1 minute and 10 second. Coach Leo, I come in on 47 seconds on the first 50. What happens next?
So 47 seconds, and the way I like to think about it is 110 is 70 seconds. So 7 to take away 47 is
23 seconds of rest. And then you start the next one. So this set, 450s at 110, is gonna take 4 minutes and 40 seconds in total. Now, what do we call this entire grouping? If this is our full workout, this grouping right here, that is 700 meters, what is this whole thing called?
So this part of the session will be called the warm-up.
This is the warm-up. So we're gonna write that right here. This is the warm-up. And typically in a workout, you're actually gonna have 3 main parts of it. There are more, but generally you're gonna have 3. You're gonna have a warm-up, then the second part here, which is called our main set. This is our main set. And then the third part is gonna be our cool down. Now, if you notice, we actually have 2 sets. This is like a bonus for you guys at home. We have a post main set right here before the cool down. So this right here is our cool down, and we have something called a post main set. You might also have a preset, which would go before the main set. So let's say we were to insert another set to get us ready for the main set. In this case, it would be called our preset. And every workout will be different, but fundamentally the most important thing is making sure there is a progression and a purpose behind every single workout. Now, let's take a look at the main set. What do you think is maybe not so obvious to someone when they see these 3 sets? Is that it? Is that the only thing they're gonna do? They just do the 4 100s pull, the 1 300 kick, and the IM, and then they go to the main set? Is that how it works?
Okay, so if we take a look to the left side of the set, you'll see a bracket, and Coach Faris has very beautifully demonstrated the 3 times sign, which means once you have done the first set, so once you've done your 4 100 pull, once you've done your 300 kick and your 825s IM, you're going to repeat this whole set 3 times, which will then be the end of your main set.
Correct. And we know freestyle, we know what kick is. What is IM? We never even answered that question. I bet someone watching this is like, wait, what is IM?
It stands for individual medley, which is the combination of 4 strokes, which goes in an order of butterfly, followed by backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle.
And if you're maybe not as familiar with these strokes, that's fine, but it's always good to incorporate a variety of training. That way you can work different muscles and energy systems, and that will make you a not only well-rounded swimmer, but it'll improve your primary stroke as well. So let's say you just want to swim freestyle, you don't really care about swimming anything else. By incorporating a little bit of individual medley, of kicking, of pulling, this will make you a better swimmer for a number of different reasons. Let's talk about pull. What does pull mean?
So pulling is usually, I mean, there's different variations of pulling, but when I think of pull, I think of a pull buoy between your legs, and I think of paddles. Again, that's optional, but pulling usually refers to when you are just swimming without using your legs and just your arm.
So you're focused on your upper body. The kick, we're focused on our lower body. What about the IM here again? How would we do, what is the difference between these 450 IM and these 825 IM?
Again, there's different variations, but generally if you're doing 450s, you'll do a 50 of each stroke, meaning you do a 50 fly followed by 50 back, 50 breaststroke, and a 50 freestyle. If you are doing 825s IM, is you do 225s of butterfly followed by 225s of backstroke, breaststroke, and then freestyle. Again, you can do it 1 by 1, so you can do a 25 of fly, back, breast, and freestyle, and do that twice to make it 8 in total. Again, different variations, but completely up to you.
Now, another variation that we can add to this workout is by layering in equipment. Now, this is one of the most fun ways to make a workout not only go faster, but also get more out of it. So typically we'll use equipment at various points of the workout. We were just talking about pull. Coach Leo mentioned a few pieces of equipment. We had a pull buoy. What else did you mention?
Paddles.
We got paddles. What else?
We have, I mean, if you're doing kick, fins could be an option.
We got fins for the kick sets, right? That could be something.
Yep. One of my favorite pieces of equipment of all time, which is a snorkel.
So a few different pieces of equipment can be layered in. And maybe on this set here, we had fins. On this kick set, we don't have fins, or vice versa. Actually, looking at a 300 kick, maybe we want to throw fins on for that, and maybe we don't need them in the warm-up. And then finally, the next variation, which is maybe one of the most interesting and the most neglected ways that swimmers can get faster, but they don't typically do, is adding variation in intensity, in speed. Because you could just go through and swim this workout, but how fast should you swim? How much effort should you have? How much rest should you get between each of the repetitions? So when we take a look at our post set over here, you might see this and read, okay, 350s freestyle, and then 1 100, repeat twice, and then wrap it up, take a shower, and go home and eat some bagels. No, that is not correct. What we're going to do is we're going to descend these 350s, which means we get faster on each one. That is one variation. You might ascend a set. So that means you're actually getting slower on each repetition. You might build or decelerate, or maybe you're gonna best average. These are all different intensities that can make the workout more engaging, but also more impactful because you're putting more intensity and more intentionality behind every single set. Now to take things one step further, because that's what we like to do here, after these 350s descend, we're gonna go 1 100 freestyle fast. And so this is a much different than the 200 freestyle we did in the warm-up. In the warm-up, we're just getting started, we're getting the body acclimated, we're getting our blood flowing. When we get to the end, the body's already been through a lot. We've already engaged every single muscle group and energy system. Now, we're gonna build up with these 350s descend, and then on the last 100, we are going to put our body to the test and empty the tank, as they say, by going a 1 100 fast. And we're gonna do that twice through.
So once we've done 2 sets, then we can move on to the final part of our set, which is the cool down, and that would be 650s to finish up our set.
And this 650s might be the most important part of the entire workout, because I always say it, the way you finish a workout is how you start the next workout. Now, if you guys want to see how you can maximize your pull and swim faster and smarter than ever before, watch this video right over here, and I'll see you there.